All right, so everyone, this is Greg. Greg is fucking awesome. Greg, this is mostly everyone.
Yeah, thanks guys for watching the movie.
Yeah, we love it. We love what you do. So I started doing Zoom movie night because of COVID, but
Cool.
actually, Velocipastor holds a very special place in my heart because it was the first movie I did that I hosted that hadn't come out yet. I think it was probably like 2 or 3 months before it even streamed. And
Nice.
I like to do B movies, cheesy movies, and some classics that I really love.
Yeah.
So one of the participants in my show found your trailer and was like, "Andy, you got to do this. You got to do this." And I was like, "Well, if it ever comes out, we'll do this." And then I saw a couple of articles about it, and I just reached out to you guys, and you guys were like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, that's cool." And I
And we
think
sent you the screener, right?
yeah, I got a
Yeah. Hell
screener.
yeah.
Yeah, from Wild Eye
Wild Eye. Yeah,
Releasings. Yeah,
Wild Eye Releasing. Yeah.
in New Jersey. And it's
Yeah.
funny, I was at Monster, was it Monster Mania Con? I was somewhere, and I went to go into the Velocipastor like screening little theater, and I talked to someone. They were like, "We sent you a screener," and I was like, "I did. It was great." Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it was so much fun. So everyone loves the movie. Everyone loves what you do. So we're just gonna get right into it. We don't have to take too long because I know you got a busy schedule ahead of you. You got that mustache to keep growing. You got to groom it.
Takes a lot of work to keep it groomed.
It does. Trust
Yeah.
me. Trust me.
I'm sure you get it.
All right, cool. So, well, you just told me you're from Long Island, right where I'm from, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I saw that you did something called Seeds and Spark
Seed
and
and Spark, yeah.
Seed and Spark, which was a kind of like a crowdfunding for independent movies and TV shows.
Yeah, so it's a crowdfunding and distribution platform for independent films. Yeah. And I
That's
was
super cool.
I was working a day job at I was selling billboard advertising. That was before I was acting full time. I was moonlighting as an actor um, until I started to actually make money acting. And I was like, I can do this. I can quit my cushy day job. And my friends at Seed and Spark, I knew the founder or one of the co-founders, and she needed someone to just like help out with some marketing and advertising and some promotional partnerships. So I came on board. I was actually like I was the New York office because I was living in Brooklyn at the time. And,
Brooklyn.
yeah, Brooklyn, what up? And but I was out in Los Angeles, like visiting their office here, which was essentially like her house because it was a startup company. And so all the films on Seed and Spark, you have to like submit to get approved to crowdfund on their site. They want to set people up for success and make sure like you have something that you have all your shit together before you
Yeah.
launch, right? They want you to succeed. So I was in the room when somebody was like, "Guys, someone just submitted for a movie called The Velocipastor," and everyone kind of like stopped what they were doing and ran over to the computer screen and was like, "Oh my god, it's a real thing." We watched the trailer. We all like died laughing, and I looked at the submission and I was like, I know this person who submitted for this. That one of the producers directed a like an episode of a series that I had done in New York. It was like one of the first things I had done. So I reached out to him and I was like, I love what you guys are doing. Um, I want to be a part of this in any way possible. Are you casting anything? And they said, yeah, we're actually casting the lead. Would you want to put something on tape? And like Brendan, the director, will tell you, yeah, sure. Like the crowdfunding guy, like he can send the tape. And so I did, and I had so much fun with it. Um, he had me do a second tape, and then after that, I met him in Bryant Park, and we fell in love and made some magic.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
so cool. Well, I was gonna ask how you got the script, but there you go. I was actually gonna ask if Seed and Spark led to that, and I'm really glad it did. That's really cool that you started this thing. Well, you didn't start it, right? You're not the founder of it. You were a director of the
I
New
was,
York.
I was, yeah, I was working in like marketing and helping with like some promotional partnerships for like we did a lot of like they have a huge education arm about like educating people on how to build an audience and crowdfund for your specific film. And I was teaching some of those classes in New York, and I was also like helping um, create partnerships with like film festival sponsors and us to do like events at some of the film festivals when we were having, live in-person film festivals.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's super cool. That like something that you did to help smaller independent movies get off
Oh
the
yeah.
ground.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you became a part of it. Like
Oh yeah,
you
for
became
sure.
part of that independent movie that you helped get off the ground. And
For
from
sure.
what I know, Velocipastor is very successful.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a pretty awesome ride, and it all started at Seed and Spark because that's what the guys at like Brendan and one of the producers were uh, trying to do. They were just trying to raise money to make the movie. Their crowdfunding was not successful, but it just like turned out that they got a private investor that was, I believe, based in China, and funded the movie.
Wait, they were based in
Ironically
China
enough.
and
Ironically enough, yeah.
and in the
Yeah.
movie they go to China and speak every single language but Chinese and
Exactly.
Japanese, was it?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That is
Yeah.
hilarious. I love
Yeah.
it. So the way so you see the script, right?
Mhm.
Is the script written line for line? Is it improvised a little bit when you're on set? Is it like other scripts you've read?
So I'll take it back to like when I got the audition sides. And for anyone who's like not an actor, sides are what they send you, like 2 to 3 pages for the audition. They don't send you the whole script. They'll send you 2 to 3 pages, and you take what you can from that and submit your audition. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is good. Like this is fun. And like I felt like the only way to do this was to like go as serious as possible and like go ham with it. But then when I got the part, I got the script, and then I was like, oh, Brendan knows what he's doing. Brendan's a talented screenwriter, and he's really just having fun, but he knows how to write movies and he knows how to make movies. And so we rehearsed. So like we were all in New York at the time, and Alyssa Kempinski, who plays Carol, her and I were the only really like maybe maybe 2 or 3 of like the entire cast that were actually like working actors.
Oh wow.
Um, Everyone else, like Father Stewart is Brendan's dad.
I hear that he was loved on set as well. Like
And he was the first person I rehearsed with. So I met with Brendan to rehearse with Brendan's dad, and he is like completely off book already, and like ready to rock. And so yeah, so we did rehearse some, and most of what's written on the page is what's in the movie. However, there was like one scene that between Alyssa and I, between Carol and Doug, that like Brendan already knew, like just off the page was like, there's something we need here. I don't know if it's working. Let's work it, and then like start to improv a little in the room, and then see what happens. And that's where I don't know much about God. I don't know much about dinosaurs. Came to be like Alyssa just gave me a layup on that, and yeah.
I don't know much about prostitutes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking love it. Oh man, I love it. That's so good. So before this, I want to say this is a horror movie, because there's a lot of blood, but it's also a comedy. Have you done any other horror-esque things, or was this the first thing that you were thrown into where you had to wear makeup and a lot of blood and costuming?
This was so up until this was my first feature film.
Okay.
Uh, Anything else I had done was mostly black box independent theater in New York City. I was in a theater company. We were putting on plays that were written by playwrights in the company or playwrights from overseas, and just like trying to act as much as possible. So anything outside of that was like student films that I was doing for like students at NYU or Columbia. So I hadn't really been introduced to any like on-camera horror. To be honest, I wasn't even like a giant fan of the horror genre until I like started working on this movie, and Brendan introduced me to a whole world that like I had I was always like, oh man, horror kind of like scares me. I don't like jumping or being, but like I love things like Evil Dead and like,
Yeah.
you know, movies that, you know, like, or like The Thing is one of my favorite horror movies. It's
That's
like,
terrifying.
yeah, right.
That's
It
a
is.
terrifying
But
movie.
like, I love movies that are like old school horror, like practical effects that are either like psychological horror that aren't like CGI. That like when there's like a monster, it's a payoff, you know, because you know like a lot went into like making that. Now I look at those movies and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like this is fucking rad. Like Alien scared the
Yeah.
shit out of me. When I was growing up. Jaws scared the shit out of me, but now I have like such a deep appreciation for some of those movies because I know like I have a sense of like what it takes to go into that stuff. But to get back to your question, like I didn't really do any other horror before this, but I had done like some sketch and some improv, and like, yeah, you want to cover me in blood? Yeah, like let's have some
Let's
fucking fun.
fucking go.
Let's go. Like that was one of I mean, when I kill my brother, that was like the first shot of the day. And they were just like, we're just going to cover you in blood and like spray blood in your face, in your mouth and everything. And I was like, do it. Let's drink. And it's just so fun. And if like anyone has the opportunity to do anything like that, do it. Cause it's just fun.
Yeah, well, we were talking earlier about how I went to LA to go to school for makeup because when I was a
Yeah.
kid, I was just like you. I was fucking terrified of horror movies,
Yeah.
terrified of it. And my dad made me watch this one movie called Stephen King's Silver Bullet. It's about a werewolf, and
Oh, yeah.
I watched it. It scared the shit out of me. And he showed me this book called The Makeup of Stephen King, and he
Mm.
showed me that movie and how it was done. And I was like, oh shit, makeup's pretty cool. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you could tell, now I enjoy wearing a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
quite the horror in that aspect, more just jarring to all of the senses.
yeah.
So, how long did it take you to get into makeup? Because you were in makeup a few times.
Yeah, there were a few like transformations that we were going for. There was like, you know, uh like an early Doug to Dino transformation, which would be like just eyes and teeth, right? And then there was the exorcism scene
Yeah.
was probably the longest one because you were like, you can see it, but you know, the camera was put pretty close up on me where like I had scales like on my arms. And
Nice.
that probably took like maybe an hour or two. Jen Suarez, who was our makeup, she was the only person doing makeup for everyone. And she just like kicked ass, man. She was having so much fun with it. She did all like you know, whether it was like someone's severed arm or like blood, anything that had to do with that, she was doing makeup and practical effects. And we just had so much. She made like the eyeball that comes out of Stuart's eye. And it's like, she
Nice.
did all that stuff. And like, we got, you know, it was such a small crew that like we got to watch her do that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it probably took like an hour or two, but she was like, oh man, sitting in her makeup chair I had no problem sitting for a long time. She would massage my face every morning with like moisturizer, and like she would cover my tattoo like for something that was like a couple days, because like rather than do it every day, she did like a really good job of covering the makeup or covering it with makeup for like a couple days so I could like cover it in the shower.
Nice.
But we became like really good friends during that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, um, the movie is called Velocipastor. And actually, we're going to rewind for a second. So, my name is Antichrist, obviously a play on Antichrist.
Mm-hmm.
I did a thing called Drag Queen Storytime a year or two ago, and there was a lot of pushback, mainly from Christians. Who would have guessed?
Shocking.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, did you have any pushback from any religious groups about the movie? I remember when it was first going around, I saw a tweet from some religious organization and it was fucking hilarious. And they were like, they called it preschool. And I'm like, that's like my favorite part.
Yeah, yeah,
Did you
yeah.
have any big pushback from anyone or anyone trying to like picket theaters? Because man, I get protested and it
Oh
sucks.
no, no. You know, surprisingly, no. Maybe like a few, you know, tweets here and there. Nothing that would like derail it in any way, or at least try to. Um, if anything, it was the contrary. We had like priests and pastors in many states, whenever we were screening in a different state, always sitting like front row, wanting to take us out to lunch. We did Texas Frightmare, which is a
Nice.
huge horror convention in
Austin, I think.
it was in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there was a dude, JR, who was like the head of his church. He was like chatting us up on Twitter and Instagram prior to it, and he like, they get it, you know, they know it's not like a direct stab at the Christian church or the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun. And he was sitting front row, took us out to some Dallas barbecue, and then he's like a huge fan of us and the movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
It's been really good. It's been really good. Like, and even we did like a pop-up at we were trying to do like a pop-up at Sundance, right? This was like before, you know, everything kind of took off with like distribution at Sundance Film Festival. And I started like calling churches around to see if they would screen the movie during Sundance. A lot of them just kind of like, instead of being like, oh no, how dare you? They all like laughed right when I said what the movie was. They were like, that's great, but like, I'm not sure if that's what, I don't know if that's what we do really. No.
I don't know if we screen movies about
but we did get an Episcopalian chapel right off of Main Street in Park City for a screening.
Yeah.
In that, so
I was gonna ask, was the chapel before that huge expensive car fire in the beginning, was that chapel a set, or did you rent out a chapel?
That was an actual church that we shot a fair amount in.
Did they know the movie you were making?
I think they knew, but like it was in like such a small town in Pennsylvania. Brendan can definitely speak to this a little bit more, but like, they were cool about it. They kind of just like, were like, okay, you're here for like 2 or 3 days. Like, this is where you know, your holding area is, and where you can like eat and stuff and do hair and makeup. And like, you know, the rest is yours. Like, you know, call us if you need anything. And like, they stayed out of our way.
That's pretty good.
It was awesome.
Nice. Man.
Like we weren't making like a molestation, you know, documentary or movie.
Yeah.
Like they like, you know, they kind of just let us go.
Yeah, you're gonna pay us and not talk about the diddling kids thing, right? Because as long as that, then I'm good.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna turn it over. Have the group, if anyone has any questions, put up a little. What was it? A hand raising emoji.
Raise your hand.
Yeah. They know what to do. I'm the host, so I don't know how to do it. Because
you can raise your hand in Zoom. So if you go to the participants, you'll see anyone's raised hand.
Oh, there's one. Ashley
Yeah.
Pascal. All right, cool. Turn that cam on and ask you a question.
And make sure your microphone is on so I can hear you.
Yes.
I have a video up.
Up, I hear you.
I hear Ashley.
There it is.
Ashley!
Hello.
Hello.
Hey!
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you so much.
I was just wondering what your favorite scene to shoot was.
My favorite scene to shoot was... My favorite scene to shoot, there were several. I'm going to go in order, though. My third favorite scene was ninjas jumping through the bedroom window and doing like an awesome fight scene. My second favorite scene was one of the final fight scenes where I kill my brother Sam and I get a lot of blood in my face and Carol coughs blood in my face. But my favorite scene to do was like one of the first transformations that I have when I'm like running through the forest in the night and like I dinosaur roar at the moon. It was kind of just like a cathartic, like Michael Jackson Thriller moment that I've been like hoping would happen in my career at some point. And I got to do that. I remember like walking off set that day, I'm like I sound so big time. It was like someone's backyard, you know? And I remember like walking off and being like, I'm getting to do this. Like I'm having the time of my life right now. And I was afraid that it would never happen again, but like it's just gonna keep coming. It's so fun.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ashley Pasquill.
Thanks, Ashley.
All right, does anyone else have a question? I know a couple people had some questions. If you are camera shy, I will ask your question for you. We do have a few camera shy folks.
Look at me, guys. I've got a mustache. Like don't worry about being camera.
Someone in the chat, Trish the Dish, said, I was hoping you would acknowledge the stash.
Yeah, it's there. It's a real thing. This is not a prosthetic.
This is my life, you guys. Yeah. This isn't a joke. All right, there was a question from Agent Dale Cooperson. He said, how did you master karate in a dino costume?
Wow, that is flattering. Master karate overnight. You know,
obviously.
It's like this movie just kind of like turned into a kung fu movie. Truth be told, I have zero martial. No, that's not true. I don't have zero martial arts experience. I've done like some jujitsu, and like maybe like a couple cardio kickboxing classes, but like that definitely does not count. Anyone who knows martial arts on this call is probably severely offended. But I had done plenty of like stage combat and like choreographed fighting from, doing like Shakespeare and other plays just in New York. But I did not, I tried getting into the dino costume. So like quick story about the final fight scene. The dino costume is incredibly claustrophobic. It is like, I know how amazing it looks on the outside.
You could never tell. You could never tell it wasn't a real dinosaur.
Like raptor replica.
Yep.
But it's really just like egg foam mattress on the inside. And it's like, in order for you to get in and actually move in, you have to like get in, right? And then like torque your body and like stick your hands in like this and do that, right? And then be able to move, and you can't see anything. And like breathing is limited. Hearing is extremely limited. And it's made for someone who's like 5 foot, right? Like maybe 5'2".
Oh no.
So I'm like 5'8", 5'9" on a good day. And we were shooting that final scene. Brendan's brother, Zach, who was a grip on the production set, he was in the costume doing like all that stuff, right? He got like heat exhausted, like he didn't like have a heat stroke or anything, but he was like, I've got nothing left. I can't do this anymore. I'm sweating. I'm dying. So I tried to get in it, and like I almost ripped the thing because I'm like a little too big. I have muscles, and like I've got a bigger frame than some of the other people that were in it. And that wasn't happening. Someone else, one more person who was a little bit smaller, tried to get in it, and she couldn't do it. Someone just said, Trish the Dish said, I'm 5'2". Could I be a movie dinosaur? Absolutely. Yep. Get a movie dinosaur resume together and just put at the top 5'2", willing to get in a dino suit.
Filmosaurus Rex.
Exactly. But we were losing light, and that's when our fearless director, Brendan Steer, said, fuck it. Pulls his pants down. He's just in his boxer shorts and a t-shirt. I'm getting in. He gets in it, and like most of the stuff in the movie at the end, like ninjas, like he gets knocked over, is Brendan just like going nuts for his art.
Wow, that's amazing. What a leader. He
really was. I was like really impressed when he did. I was like, this guy wants to make a good movie.
Yeah. He did. I mean, you guys made a great movie.
Yeah.
So I was I was looking through your resume, and cool. I saw something in there that I hadn't known. You were actually, and I know a lot of people here played this, you were in a video game that was the #1 video game in sales the year it came out.
Yeah,
And that, of course, is Red Dead Redemption 2,
that's right. Yeah.
which I know a
Yes.
lot of folks who watch this uh, play it. I know a few
Yeah.
folks in here love it. Uh, how did that happen?
So I make a living doing voiceover work. It was something I got into early on in my acting career. I was in an acting class, and I met a guy does uh, that does a little voiceover, and his wife created a Nick Jr. television show called Team Umizoomi for 3 to 5 year olds.
I
So
saw that.
I don't know if that's on my resume, but if you want to check out
It
any of those,
sure is. I think it was the first thing on there.
the Velocipastor is in 2 episodes of Team Umizoomi. One where I play a court jester in Umi Night, and another where I play a mall robot salesman, salesman at the mall where the robots run amok and I almost lose my job and Team Umizoomi saves the day. Spoiler alert.
Oh man, I was gonna watch it.
Damn it. But after I did those episodes, one of the directors on the show was like, "Do you do voiceover? You should get into voiceover." And I was like, "I don't know what that is." And they were like, "Go take a class with this person. You'll find out." And I started doing like commercial voiceover work, and I started booking commercial voiceover work enough where I was able to like leave my job and be like, "I can do this." And it's a lot of auditioning. It is just like, at one point it was like every 100 to 150 auditions I would book something. It feels like a fucking lottery.
Yeah, yeah.
But they sent me, I didn't know what it was for, and it was audition. They just sent me like a monologue that was like, do one in your regular accent and then do one in like a, Texas accent, do something like that. Like, and I did it, and they liked it, and they called me in, and I didn't know what it was until I got there. And I was like, oh fuck, I'm like at Rockstar right now.
Yeah, you are.
About to like get a fucking headset on my head and like go into the booth and do like 20 pages of like intense dialogue for this game that they had coming out. It was awesome. It was a blast. I never really, it took a while to come out, so I didn't really know like what role I would be. And I think I'm still credited as like a
Pedestrian.
Right.
Pedestrian, like
I'm not like a
parentheses,
playable
town
character.
person. Yeah.
I'm not a playable character, but when I was brought in, they were like, all right, so you are this sheriff that is in like an area in the game that is pretty dirty, but like still tries to keep some kind of order and get respect, but never gets it. So he ends up in like bad situations. He tries to swindle people. So I had a lot of like fun stuff like that, like trying to be shady and like, some gunfights, and it was cool, man. It was a lot of fun.
I wish I knew which lines were yours. Because I was thinking, I was like, man, if he has like fighting lines, I'm just gonna run up to everyone and start punching them. Like if
you could, you'll be there all day. There were like 1,200 actors that were hired.
Oh yeah, there's so many voiceovers. Like as you just walk through the town, there's like 20 conversations going on.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool job to work on.
That's super cool. All right, Trish the Dish has a question, and then I don't want to keep you too much longer, so after that, just a few more, and then we'll wrap it up.
Trish the Dish!
Trish the Dish.
So I think I'm kind of stealing someone else's question that I saw somebody put in the chat, but I was curious because I know I was in a student film that was a zombie movie in black and white, and we used chocolate syrup for the blood. And I like couldn't eat chocolate syrup for a long time after that. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was just wondering what you used for blood in the movie and how that experience was for you.
I'm pretty sure it was like a corn syrup base. Yeah, so it was sweet, it was tasty, but it was very thick. Like I said, that there was one that was like, can I post a photo to? I can post a photo to the group, can I?
I think so.
I might be able to. I'm gonna try and talk while I do this, right? Because I have these, but it was very thick and syrupy, and they gave it to me in the first shot.
Also, can I ask, not related to the movie, do you have any dogs or pets with you today?
Oh my God, you're so sweet. My wife is probably listening in the other room. I don't have any pets. I don't have any dogs. I just broke your heart, Trisha.
Interview over. This was fun.
All right, bye.
I don't have I don't have any cats or dogs. We are. My wife wants a cat so bad.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. It's gonna happen soon, man. It's gonna happen soon. We're very busy, so like I didn't want to like someone's going dog, dog, dog. I would love to have a dog, but like our apartment's not huge, and like I would love to have space for a dog to run around. If I did have a dog, I'd probably get like some kind of pit bull mix. Like I'd want like a big dog that I can like mush, you know. But I also want to like make sure the dog has the attention that it needs. I tell my wife, you know, she wants a cat so bad because she wants to snuggle her cat, and I say, you know, it's going to happen. We're going to get a cat, and the cat's going to love me, and not give you what you need, mad at me. So, but we're on our way. We're on our way.
All right, I'm gonna have to message your wife and tell her to get a cat and a dog.
She's listening in the other room. I know what's happening.
Good, she knows. Thank you for the question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trish the Dish.
All right, does anyone have any other questions? That was a good one. Last, what was it? About 3 weeks ago, we interviewed Kristen Stevenson Pino from, I don't know if you ever saw Best Friends, Best Fiends. It's the Tommy Wiseau movie, if you're familiar with him.
Oh, wow.
She was in it, and she told all the stories about Tommy Wiseau and Greg and all that. It was pretty cool, but
oh my God.
She has some dogs, and that was the question. Oh, that's a good question. Are you working on the sequel yet?
So the sequel is written. We're working on financing right now. Things have been slow because of COVID right now. But I have read the script, and you guys are going to be fucking pumped. We're excited about it. I went on a hike with Brendan yesterday. He's excited about it, and nothing to work on just yet. But no, man, we're excited about it. We're hoping to start production in 2021. Yeah, just getting it funded and getting it going and making sure everyone's safe so we can shoot.
I heard that there could be a drag queen in it. Oh no, should be. There should be a drag queen in it.
There should be. I will make a case for that.
I heard it from someone. I don't remember who it was. Someone said that though. There should definitely be a drag queen.
There should definitely be a drag queen. Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? On a serious note, I think it might have been you on your Instagram who shared that it was going to be towards LGBTQ, or there was going to be some involvement.
Yes, there is. Yes. There is like one of the main characters. It's about like a couple. So, yeah, you guys will see. I don't want to spill too much.
No, don't. I don't want you to get in trouble, and I don't want to.
No, I'll get sued.
Yeah, and I want to be surprised as well. I'm more concerned with me being surprised.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Does anyone else have any questions? Because I think that wraps it up for me. Yeah, this whole thing has been great. Like I said, Velocipastor it's very special to me. In fact, 2 months after Velocipastor, I was searching for a car, and I bought a car, and I got a Hyundai Veloster, and we call it the Hyundai Veloster Pastor, and on the back the emblem is a Velociraptor.
Yes, yeah. Fuck yes.
I'll have to take a picture of it and send it to you, or throw it up on Instagram.
Tag us.
Yes, I absolutely will. And also, I thought I was talking to Brendan, because usually when I message the Velocipastor page, it's Brendan. So I was like, oh, this is Brendan. I didn't realize that there were other people on it.
We both have access to the Instagram page. So sometimes it's me, sometimes it's him, sometimes he's traveling or he's back home and he's like, I need to be off my phone. But we do get a lot of DMs, so I check it like every other day. That's why I said to DM me directly, so because I respond to that much quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we super appreciate you doing this. You know, I know things are tough with COVID, and I started doing Zoom night just because people needed to talk to each other and interact and do something fun and just
so important.
Get out of the house without getting out of the house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm so glad to have done this. I'm so appreciative for all the people that are here on this Zoom call, and for all the folks that have watched the movie. Continue to share it. Continue to keep it going. Because at the end of the day, it's just fun, you know, and if it makes you laugh, like we need a lot of that right now. So continue to do that. I'm so grateful for you guys.
Yeah, no, we're grateful for you. So that wraps it up. I'm going to end the meeting for everyone. Make sure you get that cat. Make sure you get that dog. Get all of the animals. Stay safe. Continue growing that mustache. And we'll see you folks soon.
All right.
All right. Later, guys.
You guys, yeah.